one of those natural fits where they've really empowered me to kind of, go out into the veteran network and the veteran space to find these meaningful connections and create these awesome scholarships.
Welcome to the 7 Eagle Group podcast, your home for inspiring stories, valuable tips, and great advice from hard-charging veterans so you can lead a more rewarding and lucrative post-military career.
How are you? My name is JacobVangchhia. I am currently a social media manager for 7 Eagle Group. I just started recently, and I am here representing 7 Eagle Group to interview Mr. Tom Gnesda. Gnesda. Oh, the G is silent. My bad.
Silent G.
And I'm here to interview Mr. Tom here to talk about their opportunities, their scholarship opportunities that they have. So, Tom, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Tom Gnesda, a prior Navy corpsman. Did that for 6 years. Got out, was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life after getting out. There's no right way, right? There's a million wrong ways, but there's no quote unquote right way. Made a bunch of mistakes, learned a lot of things. And honestly, I'm just here to kind of pass on the information that I've learned and kind of, give people opportunity to kind of really, hit the ground running coming out of their EAS, because that transition, as many of us know, can really suck.
Yes, that I can relate, because currently I'm also transitioning out soon. I'm currently in limbo, and so I'm doing this SkillBridge internship thing while I'm waiting for that. So maybe this might be something that I can pursue as well, right? The opportunity that you will talk about soon.
Yeah. So totally.
Yeah. So could you please share your journey from the Navy to founding this training program? What inspired you to make this transition?
Yeah. So, getting out, I got out in 2017, so before the pandemic, and like everyone, they tell you, oh, just use your GI Bill, go to college, X, Y, and Z. But, what really sucked for me was my lack of purpose after getting out. I was an 18-year-old surge tech helping out with crazy cool surgeries and doing all this cool guy stuff and being a part of this amazing team and having all of these, stressful things that I was responsible for. And then I just get out and I'm another, student. Right. It's like, it felt like a downgrade. It felt like a step back. I felt like I kind of lost what I was doing, and I felt alone. But then I kind of talked to one of my mentors, and he explained to me, it's like, this transition process is for everyone, right? Like everyone's kind of got to embrace the suck a little bit. And it's like jumping into a pool, at first you're a little hesitant. Maybe the water's a little cold. Maybe it's too deep. Maybe you can't swim, But once you get in and you don't panic and you acclimate, life's pretty good. So I finished up at USD, and then I realized, I was like, what? Now what? What am I supposed to do with myself? Nothing was giving me those warm fuzzies that the corpsman position once gave me. So I was like, what? Let's just start helping people. That's what I love doing. That's what I feel like I was put on this earth to do, was help people. And, I started with career transitioning. I started this simple questions, do you have your disability in? Do you know about voc rehab? Do you know about vet tech? Do you know about all these programs? And then one thing led to another, and vSCHOOL ended up, picking me up because they kind of like my process of how I took care of my people. And it was just one of those natural fits where they've really empowered me to kind of, go out into the veteran network and the veteran space to find these meaningful connections and create these awesome scholarships. So, I've been, running around about it. So the scholarship today that we're going to be talking about is the Purple Heart FULLRIDE scholarship here at vSCHOOL. And, let's just jump right into it. So what is vSCHOOL? We're a web dev, UX, UI, and cybersecurity bootcamp. We're based out of Salt Lake City. Our primary goal is job placement, which really drives well with me, because we pick, a lot of these guys coming up out of their transition, a lot of these guys coming out, they don't really know what to do, and getting into tech's kind of like drinking from a fire hose in the first place.
Yes.
There's a million different things out there. Yeah.
And there's so many ways to get into tech, and it's just so if you're not into tech prior to, it's kind of hard to know which one I gotta go to. Like there's like resources like Course Careers, Coursera, Udemy, YouTube Learning, LinkedIn Learning, and there's a lot.
Google.
So yeah. And after you're getting out of the military, there's no really that hand holding, like guidance per se, like someone to actually guide you through the process. So now you're on your own, you got an adult, right? So it's kind of hard. But with this vSCHOOL, with the Purple Heart Foundation full ride scholarship, they have that opportunity to learn again, right?
Completely. So our program, it's a mastery-based program.
Yeah.
So it's essentially what we do is we won't just push people through. Typically classes will be like Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, butts in seats, your eyes glued to a screen. You're learning, you're coding, you're getting to it. We learned over COVID that, life is a little crazy sometimes.
Yes.
And honestly, a lot of people that are retooling and retraining from their normal job, they still have other priorities. They have families, they have jobs, they have kids who like maybe they don't want to miss a football game or something like that.
Yes.
What vSCHOOL really does is we work around our students' schedules, and we set kind of these milestones and checkpoints where we would like to see them at a certain point. And we have these student success mentors assigned to them day one, who are there to kind of guide them through the process of getting into tech, not only learning the tech, but learning how to interview for those high level tech interviews for the positions, right? Because knowing the skills is one thing, interviewing and marketing yourself, that's a whole other thing. And that's one of the cornerstones of why vSCHOOLers are so successful, is we really sit with them and we are able to break down the ins and outs of the tech industry. Our program is about 4 to 6 months. It is mastery based. There's less emphasis on time, way more on do you really get what you're getting into? Because, learning how to code, it's like a whole other language.
Yeah.
But, there's also UX UI, which is design. Are you familiar with the differences in all of that?
Not really. Could you elaborate on it?
Yeah, no worries. So I like to explain it as, imagine a planet, right?
Yes.
It's just a cold, dark planet, but it's the framework for everything. It's where everything lives. That is web development. That is putting all the ones and zeros together to create this quote unquote planet. UX UI would be adding life to the planet, putting water, putting animals, all of the little things and creatures that live on that planet are part of kind of that design. It's like what the experience will be like on it, essentially. And then imagine cybersecurity as the ozone. It's what's protecting the planet from anything outside. So, it's a layman's kind of explanation, but I feel like it's a little bit of a visualization for maybe someone.
Yes, it helps a lot. It helps a lot.
But yeah, so we just launched our cybersecurity program. It's the CompTIA pathway. So you're going to get your Sec Plus, your A Plus, your Net Plus.
Awesome. That's the next question that I had, but you just answered it right away. Yeah. So my next question is, before that question, I'm sure that someone's gonna ask a question like, what's mastery based, and is this like self-paced? I know that you have to check in with the mentor and all of that. When it's mastery based, is it self-paced as well?
It is self-paced, but we do set these expectations that our students will finish at a certain amount of time. We're stepping away from the complete self-paced because some people, when they hear self-paced, they just kind of lose motivation sometimes.
Yes.
So, we like to say mastery-based and, really work with you on the timetables, because essentially it's the best for you to kind of get the certificates, and then let us help you get the job so that you're able to make that money a lot faster, right?
Yes.
So, if we let you sit and stagnate for a year in our course, that's not doing you any favors.
Got it. So with this, what do you call it? With this scholarship and then this program, who does it cater to, or who is the intended audience for this training program?
So the scholarship's open to all military members, their dependents, and anyone in their network that's a part of their support group. So we really opened it up. We wanted to give back to Purple Heart and their network. The reality is, you know, any way we can improve a veteran's immediate family or immediate circle, that's just value add, right? And we do scholarships like this all the time. We work hard to try to always make sure that we're working with good veteran support organizations.
And with this Purple Heart Foundation scholarship, FULLRIDE scholarship, the veterans are going to be able to find a new career or find that, what you said, like sense of purpose, and then find that spark again after they leave their military careers to find that new career field that they will enjoy, right? Cybersecurity is big. There's a lot of jobs out there. The job market is huge, and web development, and then UX UI. I'm not really familiar with that, but with your explanation, it seems very interesting. Like building it from the ground up, you know, and then that ozone layer protection, cybersecurity. That's really interesting. I like the way you explained it to me, because now I understand it. You know, it's very interesting for me as well. And with all this scholarship comes with partnership and support. Could you discuss with me like the partnership or support that you who are like the key partners or support that you have that played a crucial role in the success of this program?
In this program, I gotta again shout out Purple Heart Foundation. They were, you know, their mission to change the lives of individual veterans and their families is insurmountable. Right now, their primary thing that they've been doing is it's a needs-based funds kind of allocation. So it's like, let's say you go to them, you're like, hey, I'm a Purple Heart guy. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my rent. They'll find a way to help you figure it out. But right now, their primary goal, per Jim, the guy that's marketing, the head guy, one of the head guys over there, he explained to me that he's in the business of teaching people how to fish, not putting Band-Aids on problems. The reality is if we can change lives, we can give people the sense of purpose. We can get these people making good money, working from home with their families. You know, that's really gonna, you know, honestly cut into, you know, essentially potentially veteran suicide, right? Like that's my primary goal is like, you know, gainful employment. Really, the studies are showing that if people are having these good missions and these good support groups and these, you know, excellent jobs, the odds of them offing themselves are a lot lower. And that's something that's near and dear to my heart. You know, I've lost more friends to suicide than almost anything else. So that's my call to action.
Sorry to hear that, sir. Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, it's not all right, but it, you know, it is what it is. All we can do is move forward and try our best to get back.
Yes, sir. One is already a lot. One is already a lot. But I'm gonna divert the conversation with challenges and overcoming them with your experiences with the vSCHOOL program. What lessons have you learned? If you have faced any challenges or problems during establishing the scholarship or any previous scholarships, have you faced any problems and how did you overcome them?
Patience and timing and tenacity. You have choosing your energy at the appropriate time, being tenacious when you have to, being patient when you have to. You know, understanding the difference between the two is very important in all things, right? Some of the biggest things is just, and I'm sure a lot of people getting out will identify this, is just getting said no to, right? You're going to get 1,000 no's. We're swimming in a sea of no's, but you're fishing for your one yes, right? So my biggest thing to all these guys transitioning is you have to realize you're a member of the world's largest fraternity, the U.S. military. Leverage that, you know, and also nobody knows that you're suffering if you're suffering in silence. So if you need help, reach out. There's a million VSOs out there. Bob Hope Foundation and Hierarchy, like 7 Eagles. You know, we're out here. We're trying to help. We're trying to change lives. You know, we know that you're there, but we don't know who you are. But we're ready for you, and we're ready to take whatever burden you're bearing. You can share that. There's a community around you, and you are loved.
Yes, that is true. Everyone is loved. They just need to reach out as well whenever they feel like the world is just closing onto them, caving in. You know, that little light. There's always that light. Look for it, right?
Yep.
And I gotta ask, with the vSCHOOL and the scholarship program, what is your future vision of the program? Any plan for expansions?
Oh yeah. We're tiny, but we're ferocious, right?
Yes.
Our goal is to essentially, like, I mean, we just want to scale, like, but it's one of those natural things where we don't want to force it.
Yes.
It's one of those things where we know our mission, we know our purpose, and we do a dang good job at what we do. But our goal always, like, I think like anything, is growth, right? But how we go about that, like we've been building out this great network of awesome kind of veteran support organizations. We will always continue to be a veteran oriented company. I believe right now our student population is 60% veteran and 50% female as well. So we've got a really diverse program.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're trying to break down barriers right now, because like I believe it's like 30% of the tech population is only, I think it's 30% women, if that. Don't quote me on that. Let me look that up. But we're trying to break down these barriers that exist, and we're trying to, because tech honestly belongs to everyone.
Yes,
and there's so much money to be made in it. So if you've got the wherewithal, if you've got the motivation, follow me, we'll show you the way.
So here at Seven Eagle Group, we are ambassadors for talented military veterans and the sheer grit they bring to America's employers. Seeing that our mission aligns with yours as well, I hope we can collaborate on being ambassadors for those who serve in this great nation in the future as well. Mm-hmm. Would that be like a great thing to do together? Like
1,000%. Amplify voices. It takes nothing to share, right?
Yes.
It may not be pertinent to you, but it could be pertinent to your friend. It could be pertinent to one of your battle buddies. It could be pertinent to one of your shipmates, right? So never gatekeep information. Like we're in an information age. Like,
yes.
Why, like share it. Like, yeah, I'll share anything and everything from you guys.
Yes, sir. And then how does one, a veteran, military, or a spouse sign up for this scholarship opportunity, and how many winners will be there?
So there will be one scholarship winner, but we have $50,000, or I think it's $500,000 of scholarship money that we are giving out. We will be giving partial scholarships to all who do not win the full ride. Just as a, thank you for your consideration. Thank you for serving. We appreciate you. And as to how to apply, I will be giving you a link. You can either check us out on vSCHOOL.io or the direct link that I'll be providing you. You'll be able to meet with either myself. I'll also give my personal Calendly. If anyone listening to this wants some mentorship or some guidance kind of getting into tech, does not even have to be vSCHOOL related. I'm here to answer any questions if you are interested about tech. So I'll provide that Calendly link as well. But yeah, links, I'll give you everything you need, brother.
Yes, sir. And if someone has no IT background, are they still eligible for this scholarship to join?
Yeah. So coming to vSCHOOL, we have a 40-hour intro to tech course. So with that course, essentially it's designed to kind of, trial by fire, get your feet wet, feel it out. You're going to know coming out of that if you like tech, right? If you don't, no worries. It's 40 hours free information and you get a certificate out of it. So it's something to put on the resume. It's really there just so you can see the how vSCHOOL operates, if it's something that you yourself would benefit from. And yeah.
And do you have any remarks that you would like to add about any other opportunities that you have in the vSCHOOL as well, besides the scholarship opportunity at this moment?
We're working on a couple more scholarships. They're pending right now. But besides our courses, we are doing I think we're going to do a lunch and learn pretty soon. And we're also going to do a kind of intro to tech conversation. So it's just going to be kind of like, if anyone was interested about the program or interested about tech in general, they could come and listen. And yeah, again, I'll send you an event link for that. But anyone listening to this, my biggest advice to you as well is leverage LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very powerful tool for you guys getting out. You have 1 year for free being a veteran transitioning. So sign up for that, get your year. And don't be afraid to talk to everyone. Leverage the fact that you're military. Find the companies you want to work for. Find the veteran recruiting guys at those companies. Find the skill bridge guys at those companies. Ask them questions. It's okay to ask questions if you don't know things. Nobody expects you to know everything, and everyone wants to help the transitioning guy because we've all had to suck that suck sandwich.
That is true. I'm currently in that process as well. With the skill bridge internship, I thought I was not going to be able to do it. So personally, I was kind of in like a zone where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? But then I saw this skill bridge opportunity. I'm just going to share my short story.
Please,
but yes,
no, I'd love to hear it.
There was a lot of people. Out of 10 people that I asked, 10 out of 10, they told me, you're not going to be able to do skill bridge, right? Because I'm in a weird situation where I don't know where I'm going to separate from the military. Okay. So I just called up Jordy. I'm like, hey, sir, this is my situation. And I'm kind of like a weird limbo situation. So I essentially marketed myself and I just built a door for myself. People say that opportunity doesn't knock twice, So I built my own opportunity. So I did my research and all of that. I did my due diligence, which really helped me a lot as well, and other stuff as well. So I believe that if one does their own due diligence and if they actually show the sheer grace of like they actually want to do this, they want to be part of this, I believe that everyone can succeed in life as well. So yeah, that's basically my short story. What do you think of it?
For sharing, and it's a testament to what I just said. It's like, it's nerve-wracking, right? Like,
yes.
For how long are you in for?
6 years.
So for the last 6 years, you haven't had to worry about a resume, a job application, interviewing, right? Like, needs of the military. You go where you go, and then that's how it is. And you're either, your rank is your rank. But, it's not like that. But the reality is everyone's telling you, oh, it's so hard to get out. They kind of scare you. But remember who you're hearing that from. You're hearing that from the 20-year guy who never got out. How do they know, frankly? So the reality is the resources are available. It is nerve-wracking. It is a change. But like anything in life, change is good because that means you have to grow as an individual. Like, you're no longer relying or being relied on by the military. It's all you. But with that freedom comes fear. Don't be afraid of freedom, guys. We're America. That's what we're founded by. Like, trust me. There's money to be made. There's awesome opportunities to be had, and there's a million memories that are going to come pouring in over as you transition. So just take it day by day. Give yourself the grace. I'm sure sometimes you'd be like, I got this. I'm going to kick some butt. But then also just remember, it's like some days you're going to feel like crap. Some days you're going to miss your friends. Some days you're going to miss the smoke pit, sitting around, coking and joking.
That is true. The smoke pit, the talks, the conversations.
Exactly. Those 3 a.m. conversations with a bunch of random people. That's the stuff that you won't miss. But that's also why it's so important for you to grow your community and to really leverage, like I said, the fact that you're, a veteran. There's a lot of veterans out there, and there's a lot of veterans in your field. So go find them, go talk to them, go pick their brain. One of the best things anyone ever told me was get 3 mentors. Someone 10 years ahead of you, someone 5 years ahead of you, and someone 1 year ahead of you. With that, you have someone that's got a generation on you that can really break down kind of, where you want to be 10 years from now. Yes. The 5-year guy's probably an expert in his field. He's a dude that can answer any of the hard questions for you, like, is this, that, or whatever. And the 1-year guy is mainly there to motivate you because it's just outside of your reach. And if you actionalize it and it's your rival. You need a rival in life. You need someone pushing you, because if you're not, you're going to sit in your rut. You're going to stagnate. You're never going to get out your hole. Right.
Yes.
And then another thing, get a mentee, someone that you're pulling up. So it closes the circuit. You can't just take. Once you're in a position to give, then you give back to this community. And you'll see when you have this full circle thing of giving and taking these awesome experiences, awesome kind of just your energy, it's like it charges you. it charges you up. It motivates me every time I talk to one of my people I'm mentoring. When I hear them doing the good stuff that they're doing, when I hear that they're, following through with the things we talked about in previous conversations, and like, or they landed the job, that's what gets me in, man. That's what I'm like, heck yes. That's the warm fuzzy. That's the Corbin feeling for sure.
Yes,
so
sir.
that's my unselfish thing.
Yeah, that's a good take on everything. That's a good take on everything. Give it back, pay forward.
Always.
That's good. It's also
You
they're
gotta
also your
manifest
brother in arms,
Yeah,
brothers and
manifest
sisters in
that full
arms.
cup.
And manifestation works.
It
But I'm not
does.
gonna get too deep into that into that realm of conversation.
Yeah.
So today we talked about the Purple Heart Foundation FULLRIDE scholarship to vSCHOOL, which pays for everything for veterans. For if you're a service member, veteran, or spouse, they can apply through vschool.io.
Yep. Or link provided.
Got it. And there's also partial scholarships around $500,000 that are to be allocated. And to those who sign up and unfortunately did not get in to the full ride, to say, hey, thank you for your consideration, this and that, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so they're not left out, and all of that. And vSCHOOL is a place where service members or veterans can get education or guidance with like the IT realm to start a new career. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Just want to like piggyback on everything we said.
Oh, yeah.
Summarize everything, right?
Summarize. Yeah.
And then
Excellent.
And then there's a lot of opportunities out there, but vSCHOOL has been providing this Purple Heart Foundation FULLRIDE scholarship to give back to the community that that gave to this country, to saying, hey, thank you for your support, thank you for your service. We want to give back to you. And Purple Heart Foundation has been the key partner to support this scholarship as well.
For this one, yeah. Yep. For this one, yeah. There are a lot of good VSOs out there. We're trying to, the reality is they're all rowing the boat, but sometimes they're disjointed, just based on bureaucracy, based on location, based on grant competition, depending on any of that. Like vSCHOOL is in the business of building bridges. vSCHOOL is in the business of, getting these guys like, hey, here's the mission, here's the outcome that we're looking for. Let's row the boat together. Let's get there a little faster. Let's get there and pull some guys out and save as many lives as possible. Right.
Got it. Yes. And then everything is mastery based. Everything is self-paced, but mastery based is the one that you wanted to use instead of self-paced, so that people don't get unmotivated to progress. So you guys have a plan for them and set expectations so that they actually reach that goal to become that to finish the certification, and they also get CompTIA, Sec Plus, and all that.
Depending on the course they go through. So if they go through our separate course, they'll get the CompTIA course. If they go through our full stack course, they're going to be MERN stack. So it's a big thing in Java. It's got React, Node, all the the basic stuff too, CSS, HTML. And then if they go through our UX UI, they're going to go through all of basically. We've got a pretty robust UX UI program, so they're going to go through everything through color theory, through kind of just essentially the major breakdowns of how to design an app / the framework that is the most visually appealing. Our big thing is we do projects. So our projects are for companies. Yes. So a lot of the times too, when a student's working on a project with a company, they get picked up with the company that on the project they're working for, just because it makes sense. They built the product and they want the guy who built it to be maintaining it.
Got it. That's a lot for me to even take it. It sounds like a lot, but vSCHOOL, they're going to help you out, right? They're going to help them out and learn all the skills that they need to be out there in the industry and get that money, right? Get that bag,
Chase get the bag.
That is the plan.
It's like eating an elephant, man, one bite at a time, right? Don't look at the whole elephant. Otherwise, it's too much. Just, stay in your lane, eat what you can, get that information, and grow at your rate, but never stop growing.
Yes, sir. So with that, Tom, thank you for your time and sharing your inspiring journey and your insights with us today. From experience in being in the Navy, being that surgical tech, and doing all those cool stuff that I never got to do, that is awesome. And how you transitioned out and got into vSCHOOL and being a mentor yourself as well, with that career guidance and all of that, your dedication to the organization, not just vSCHOOL, also to the veterans and service members and their family in general, right? As a whole, that is awesome. And your commitment to supporting veterans is really commendable, right?
Thank you, sir.
Like, we appreciate your valuable contributions to this interview. Within just this span of short time, you gave us a lot of information that I as well can just pass on to my peers as well. Even after I just post this video, if we post this video, and I can just share out there when I go back to on base, right? I can share with people who are going to transition out and my leadership who are going to retire soon. I can share with them with this information as well, that, hey, this is this opportunity that's out there. Would you be interested in looking them up on here? LinkedIn, Google search them, look up their schools, Twitter, X now, and all of that, right? So it's very insightful, and you're very knowledgeable on all of this as well. And I forgot to ask, what is the deadline for this scholarship entry?
So the deadline is coming up. Thank you for that was a great question. In 12 days. So acts now, it's closing in October 1st.
October 1st.
So we are in the final stretch. Anyone who submits before, we're going to take a week to really go through all of the application, a week or two to go through the applications. We'll have our announcement mid-October. So, if you are interested, if you know someone who may be interested, please share, get the information out there.
Got it. October 1st. So they have to do it before October 1st to actually get into the scholarship, and then the results will be announced mid-October and all of that.
Correct.
Got it. And do you have anything that you would like to add, remarks or anything that you want to ask me, or have any comments on anything?
Thank you, Seven Eagles. Thanks for your time. Thank you for this interview, and thank you for allowing me to use your platform to kind of spread the word about this opportunity. My question is, how'd you transition? How are you feeling about your transition?
Personally, I was scared. Not gonna lie, I was really scared. But I would say for myself, I do my due diligence on researching a year ago. So last year, I already prepared for this moment. And even though I felt like I am very well established on researching and doing what I want to do after, when that closing day, the date of separation closes in, it's like hot potatoes. I don't know what I'm doing, right?
Yep.
Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? What can I translate my military skills into the civilian world, right?
Uh-huh.
And then let's say you're a aerospace medical technician, right? 4NO, which is like a medical corpsman, right? In Fort Sam and all that. They go through all this training. In the civilian world, yes, I was in Fort Sam as well. So
hey, yo.
Yes. So yes. So early, you do all of this training, but when you go out to the civilian world, they would like to have you to have the certifications that are actually certified to be an MA, right? Medical assistant. That's what you did in the military, but do you have the certification, right? All of that, can I actually translate all of those 100%? That's what was going on in my head, right?
Well, I would look. There are certs that you could start because your time, all your clinical hours, all of that. Make sure that all of that before you get out is logged, because if you ever wanted to go into medicine, they're going to require a certain amount of hours, and you having all of that time logged is important, because it's check, and it's a super green flag to, let's say you're going to PA program. That was one of the lanes I was looking at, was PA program. There's a million certification programs that you can honestly just log your time in and challenge for boards, you know, especially for medicine stuff. So if offline, you and I could talk, I'll send you the links to that, and we can see where you're at.
So I want to piggyback on that, but that's great information for people out there, because I retrain into something else. So I am an air transportation port dog, so I deal with passenger services, cargo movement, and essentially anything that has to do with like cargo, fleet, and special handling, like hazardous material and all of that. Let's say you deploy, right? We move your bags. We have passenger services where we allocate people to go into the plane, C5, C17, C130s, and all of that. And also we handle the space A flights, the space R flights, all of that. I'm sure you're familiar with that. Space available and space required, all of that. So that's my job right now. It's a really fun job, but translating all of that into the civilian world, I can do that, but some of them, am I really qualified for that? Like, because you need to relearn the skill and all of that. And then there are people who are telling me that you can just go into be a manager and all that with all your experience. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I want to know the knowledge again. No,
you might be able to. You know, it just depends on the position. It depends on the role. You know, don't cut yourself short. First of all, you know, like you have to realize you are a part of the 1 or 2% of Americans who joined. Right? You've answered the call. You clearly have passed a bunch of things to get to where you're at. So don't cut yourself off at the knee. You know, the worst thing any employer can ever say to you is no. Right? And always ask for feedback. Feedback's your best friend. You know, maybe your resume sucks. Okay, well, then let's fix that. You know, maybe you didn't do great on the interview. Okay, well, let's practice your interviewing skills a bunch of times. Like, the main thing I could tell anyone, and this just goes into everything. This was one of my pre-deployment conversations. One of the corpsmen that I talked to, he just told me, he's like, Gnesda, you're moving too much. You're freaking out. You're like, you need to stop, look, and breathe. Okay. Go. You know, if you go into chaos not having an articulate plan, you're only going to create more chaos, right? So just give yourself and your mind the chance to breathe. Give yourself the chance to really digest the problem at hand and come up with an articulate solution, you know, that can go as fast as possible, so that you can, you know, like, not everything's life or death, but you know, going about with that mentality, I've definitely been able to like save myself from a lot of pain.
Yeah, that's real good advice that I actually needed to hear. So I'm not, and whoever's gonna edit this, I want to make sure that they actually put this in, because, like I said, transparency, right? Before I even started this recording, I said I want to make it like not scripted. That's what I want it to be, right? Because what I feel right here, there's a lot of people who's gonna feel the same way and who can relate to it. So the way I see it, I'd rather be just out there, just fully unscripted. I just express myself, and then you on the spot mentoring me like that. That was really good, and I actually needed to hear that. So out of this interview, I got a lot out of you. So besides the scholarship and all of that, yes, for Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, everything I know is I owe to someone else telling me. So now I pass the baton to you. Take this information that I give you and go change someone else's life when it becomes applicable. And life will put that person in front of you when they're meant to be, right? So every opportunity is either meant to happen or it wasn't, right? If you believe in that divine, you know, destination or divine whatever. So like, don't let failure or don't let fear hold you back from what you were meant to do.
Yes, sir. And with that closing remark, I would just want to say to our audience, whoever's like watching this video, I encourage you to connect with Mr. Tom Gnesda. He's on LinkedIn. He's on other social media platforms, hopefully. Reach out to him. and reach out to vSCHOOL as well and explore the impactful work that they're doing in the field of all this IT and other scholarship. You can follow them on LinkedIn. vSCHOOL will mention them below. He's also going to send me the information as well, his Calendly as well, and then his other links as well to post down there, and or visit the website vschool.io. But we'll link it down there to make it easier for y'all. So do you have any other things that you want to add, Tom?
No, sir. No, thank you. It's been an amazing time to talk. Yeah.
No, thank you for being here. It's an awesome experience for me as well. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
whenever it's up, I'll hit you guys up. You guys are cool.
Yes, sir.
But we should check in. I'd like to hear where you're at 6 months from now. And if you do need help, definitely hit me up. Okay.
Absolutely. You as well. Hit me up if you need help and anything that I can do for you.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right.